So Solaris, Jesus Christ, what am I getting myself into? Solaris is a film whose existence makes me rather angry, not due to the film itself. The film is fine. There's little I identify as potentially wrong with it. Though I'm annoyed with the obnoxious posturing around Solaris and Tarkovsky in general, but also, more so likely, with those who think that Solaris is pretentious and breaks rules or whatever the hell. Look, if Solaris is not your preference, just say it. Don't pretend that it broke certain rules which films are meant to follow in that narrative context. If you know the rules, you make a fucking film genius. Go, do it. I know Tarkovsky himself was a bit disappointed by Solaris, at least compared to his latest Stalker, but I suspect he felt insecure that filmmakers like Bergman or Bresson might turn their nose up at VFX or science fiction which isn't sufficiently nihilistic, as Stalker perhaps was, for entirely superficial reasons. They had their own rules, geniuses though they were. They were too tied to themselves and those that came before, disregarding the future of the medium, highly conveniently for them. The novelist of the text Solaris, Stanislaw Lem, he didn't care much for this adaptation. Possibly because the filmmaker didn't treat the text as a sacred cow to be followed completely strictly, and though I haven't read the text, Lem's complaints that the film didn't follow through on all of the novel's themes implies that the film ought to have had more walls of dialogue, or find ways to animate philosophic prose, which Lem would have considered a sacrilegious deviation anyway, most likely. Solaris is too dialogue heavy in some people's minds anyway, or acceptably so. I always wondered why those who bemoan Nolan's sci-fi for exposition were okay with Tarkovsky's films. Not that Nolan's sci-fi is anywhere close to Tarkovsky's, obviously, but it smelt a bit or even very, very fake. This makes me come across as smart. This makes me come across as a normie, and I want to feel smarter than the average person because I'm an elitist error of a human, and so it's fine when Tarks does it, not fine when Nolan does it. Obviously, the dialogue in Tarkovsky is of a much higher caliber. Maybe that is it. Frankly, the one thing that lets Solaris down for me is the existence of Stalker. If this was Tark's sole sci-fi venture, I'd be a lot more psychologically excited about its existence and then viewing it. But knowing there is also Stalker, a film I consider superior and maybe even Tark's best, along with 66's Andrei Rublev possibly, even more so one of the best films in human history. The other thing is, honestly, I would understand those who found Solaris too slow. But I would also claim that anyone who thinks that edits would have improved the film is a total buffoon. The same people who complain that it is too slow would complain that the ideas aren't given room to breathe in a 2-hour runtime. I guarantee you that. And so accept Solaris' runtime or don't. Actually, they probably don't have time for most 3-hour films in general, to be fair. But that is preference, or only liking crime, western, historical epics for your 3-hour movies, rather than more contemplative, slower-paced, mediations on the soul, on a humanity which Tarks felt was absent from Kubrick's 2001. Oh yes, it is difficult to unsee Solaris as an artistic response to 2001, and those that disdain 2001 for being slow or inaccessible, oh boy will they be upset by Solaris' existence. I hope it brings them great displeasure, honestly, but unlike the stiff post-2001, both 1968 and 2001 literally, imitators from Boyle to Aronofsky and Dwight/Wachowski's, fuck that fucking film, and you too, if you like it, go get some imagination. Wannabes, Tarkovsky managed to compete with it, actually. Partially because he had disdained it, I will suspect so. I'm getting tired of how my foot tastes. Enjoy the screen caps, let me know what you think of Solaris. I've been thinking of watching this, but I'm concerned it will be pretentious or slow. Then don't watch it. You're not even welcome on this channel, honestly. Leave the couch potato bullshit for your adolescence. Eat something other than McDonald's for once. Read like 5 books before deciding it isn't for you and moving on. At least 3 non-fiction. No Harry Potter allowed for the fiction choices either. Ah, Solaris, the visuals alone make this film. They could be reciting the fucking phone book in the dialogue for all I care. But the dialogue and screenplay is actually very, very good. I feel like as a transcribed text, Stalkers is stronger, but few film scripts are on par with Stalkers. Few novels are. Maybe the source text for Stalker is, though, to be fair. Might be, obviously. Along with Aguirre, Godfather, Maria Malibran, and Don't Torture a Duckling, probably one of the 5 best films of 1972, throw in Jancho's technique and the right as an honourable mention, at least as far as 72 films discussed on this channel are concerned, at least. Let's move on now. This is my last show. See you, everyone. Bye.